So you're being recorded.
All right, so nobody say anything they don't want overheard. So I'm actually going to have Greg speak first, just very quickly, because all of us who are on camera know each other, but one of, I think, Greg's classmates is on here, so I'm going to let him speak.
So yeah, basically Jen and I, as most of you guys know, Jen and I have wanted to try to figure out a way to raise funds for the West Point class of 1992. And we thought this was one way to do it. So in addition to the money that I have been contributing just out of being a classmate and a USMA grad to the class, we wanted to donate additional stuff through All In Vacations. So we came up with an idea. Jen has done all the research with AMAWaterways on how to put together group trips. And we have then figured out a methodology on how we would be able to get these group trips and then take some of the proceeds that All In Vacations receives and donate it to the class of 92. And right now it's the Modern War Institute who our class is raising funds for right now in preparation for our 30th reunion in about a year and a half from now. But that is what we decided to do. And who says that fundraising can't be fun? And we figured we'd do it with these river cruises and have a good time, get mini class reunions, get other people like family and friends on these trips. And Jen and I will take care of making sure that our class meets our goals and stuff like that as well, and helping out with that. So that's basically what we have decided to do with this cruise. Well, we were trying to do one here a couple months ago, but obviously that didn't happen. We have another cruise. Well, we have two other cruises now that are going to be on group rates. I'm just going to tell you
about the other two real quick.
So I'll pass this on to Jen real quick here. But right now we have basically 3 group cruises set up with AMAWaterways to basically have a good time, have people be able to explore Europe with an outstanding cruise line that we love cruising with, and also at the same time raise money for the class of 1992 from West Point. So that's what I've got. I'll pass it over to Jen here.
So the other 2 cruises we're doing, besides the one we're talking about tonight, and if anybody that's here wants more information on those, follow up with me afterwards, but we're doing Impressions of the Seine in Paris on November 4th of 2021. If you do the land excursion, that starts on October 31st. And we're also doing the Enchanting Rhine, which is Basel to Amsterdam, November 11th of 2021. There are people from the Academy on both of those cruises, as well as on this Join the Brave and the Few 92 Danube River cruise. And I'm going to turn it over now to Mary Margaret from AMAWaterways, and she's going to give us a preview of what we can expect on our Christmas Markets cruise. So thank you, Mary Margaret.
Well, no, thank you, Jen, very much. And I have to tell you that I love talking about the Christmas markets. It's a very magical time of the year. So let's get started. I'm going to first talk a little bit about and tell you a little bit about AMA so that you're aware of what you're joining. And then we'll go to the markets. So we are family owned and operated. We have been since we were founded in 2002. And we were founded by 3 families. Rudy Schneider, who's our co-founder and president. He's also known as the godfather of river cruising. And he's also our architect. So he designs all of our ships. Christine Carnes, another co-founder and our executive vice president. And the 3rd co-founder was Jimmy Murphy, but unfortunately Jimmy passed away in 2014, but we're fortunate enough to have his son Gary as a co-owner and our senior vice president of sales. And I talk about these 3 individuals because they don't sit in their white ivory tower telling us all what to do, all right? They are hands-on, and it's not unusual for them to show up on a ship unannounced. And you could be sitting in our lounge having a glass of wine, a cup of coffee, and they could say, may I join you? And when you sail with AMAWaterways, we welcome you into our AMA family. So, and I show you these because you need to know financially how sound this company is. you know, the last 10 ships that we have put in the water, we paid for in cash. So financially, we are a debt-free company. While COVID was going on last year, we did not sit with our hands idle. The Amabella and the Amaverte, which were our two original twin balcony ships, they were gutted and redone. And so they're almost like brand new ships. We had two ships that the Amasiena was also to be put in the water last year. Unfortunately, she wasn't. And so she is in the water now, getting all her finishing touches. And the Amalucia is also in the water, getting her finishing touches. And we have a new ship in Egypt, the Amadelia, and that ship is on the Nile. She's also getting her finishing touches. All right. So we own all these ships and they are debt free. So financially, you will be sailing with a very financially sound company. So where do we go? Well, we do the Douro. We have two beautiful ships on the Douro. They are smaller ships. They're only 102 passengers. And I have to tell you that the Douro is extremely popular. We do France. We have 5 itineraries in France. And I cannot tell you that I love every single one of these itineraries. And we are doing 2 new itineraries in France, you know, the Impressions, which is also on the Seine, and we are doing the Essence, which is on the Saône and the Rhone River, which are 2 new itineraries for 2021. But we do all the rivers of Europe except for the Po and the Elbe. And that is because those 2 rivers, the water levels are so unpredictable that it's really not fair to you, our guest. We started Vietnam and Cambodia in 2009 on the Mekong. We added Thailand 2 years ago for a pre and post. And in Africa, we started in 2013. And this is quite an unusual journey because we do South Africa, Cape Town, Johannesburg. We fly to Botswana, where you will board the beautiful Zambezi Queen. You sail, it's a 14 suite, 28 passenger ship. Does the Chobe for 4 nights. We have 5 beautiful itineraries there. And then we take you to Victoria Falls for 2 nights, where you've decided either South Africa, Kruger National Park for your safari, or East Africa, Tanzania for your safari, or Rovus Rail, doing a rail safari type of program. Quite unusual. And then, of course, Egypt, which we're starting in September of this year. And we offer a pre to Jordan or to Dubai and a post to Israel after you finish the Nile cruise. So why should you river cruise with us versus my competitors? Well, I'll tell you why. Number one, I think it's our cruise. Our tours are included. There are no optional tours, right? We give you choices, not options. So if you remember that choices are free and options cost you money, you'll be safe, all right? And every time we stop, you'll have some choices. You may have to choose between an A, B, or C tour, right? You may have to choose between, and if the weather, even during our Christmas markets, if the weather is conducive, we do offer bike tours because every single one of our ships, except for the Douro and Vietnam, have 26 bicycles, or a hiking excursion, a cooking class, or a culinary tour. And after you've made your choice, you can choose between our gentle walkers. They walk just a little bit slower. My regular walkers are what I call my power walkers that just want to get through the tour and then go either shop or go do something else. And we also have independent tours. So if you don't want to go with a tour guide, you can go up to our front desk and say, you know, I want to do this by myself this time. And we'll give you a map. We'll give you some suggestions as to what you should see while you're in this beautiful city or town or village, and also the time that you need to be back at the ship. Because if you're not back and we leave, guess what? You're going to be Ubering it to the next port. So, yeah, right. We also give you our Quiet Fox systems. And what that is it's so you don't have to get up close and personal with your tour guide. So it's kind of the social distancing, and we've had that for years. And it's very nice. I can be out, wandering the city and town and taking pictures, and then I can still hear where my tour guide is. As I mentioned, bicycles. And yes, even, during Christmas markets, the bike paths run all along the rivers of Europe. So you could take them out yourself, or you could be part of a bike tour that we might do. And our bike tours are not, the 100 miles or 50 miles. They can go, 3, 5, even up to 15 miles if you so desire. And we have wellness coordinators on all of our ships. So we do yoga, Tai Chi, aerobics. And on beautiful days, we do them on the sun deck. Otherwise, we'll do them in our lounge area where we move all the furniture around and we do them there. But all of our ships also have a fitness center. And our wellness coordinator will also have fitness classes that you can sign up for. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the food. And it has changed a little bit since COVID started last year. Number one, it's still fresh and locally sourced, and everything is still made on board, except for our ice creams, which we get from a Belgian dairy. Okay. But we in the past had buffets. Well, and a menu on the table for breakfast and for lunch. Well, buffets are gone, but what we do have are what we call action stations. And what those are going to be is, well, for breakfast, for example, the menu's on the table. You come down for breakfast. Immediately, you will be served your coffee, tea, whatever you would like. You'll have a fruit dish in front of you. It's individual. So it's a fruit dish as well as some rolls and jelly, etc. And if you have a specific request for a croissant or a specific roll, you'll be given that. But our stations will have maybe a pancake station, waffles, etc., or an egg station, plus the menu on the table. But we still have our sparkling wine, which is complimentary for breakfast. So you could start your day off with a mimosa or sparkling wine, whatever. Lunch, we will have obviously our menus on the table, but we'll have our action stations might be, a pasta station, or it might be a sushi station. They'll be changed on a daily basis. And up in our lounge area, we will also be serving hamburgers and brats. And then we are putting barbecues up on our sun deck. So we'll be doing some fun things on the sun deck as well for lunch, as well as possibly even for dinner, depending upon the cruise and the time of the year. We will have for lunch and for dinner, you have unlimited free-flowing beer, wine, and soda. The wines are changed on a daily basis. They're regional, and you have a choice between a red and a white, or you could have both. Dinner is menu driven, so there's usually 3 items on the menu, plus you have the choice of having either filet, chicken breast, or salmon with a Caesar salad and our French fries. And I don't care what meal you're at, you should order our French fries because they're delicious. And prior to dinner, we have what we call our sip and sail. And our sip and sail is an hour before dinner. It's an open bar. So my bartenders will have a specialty drink of the night, but you can have whatever you would like, right? And every journey that you're on with us, one night you'll have a Shen dinner. And that is because Rudy Schneider was inducted into this food association, I should say, I'm sorry, back in 2010. And, Shen was founded in about the 12th century, 13th century. It was very, very popular in Europe. And then it kind of went dormant for about 400 or 500 years, was brought back in the 50s, actually, and is now extremely popular, not only in Europe, but also in the United States. So you'll experience that. And if you do have any dietary needs, all we do is, just tell Jennifer, because she'll make a note of it in your reservation. And actually, what happens is, depending upon the dietary restriction, you'll actually be sitting down with our chef, and our chef will be telling you what's available, what can be served you. And I've been on our ships when one of the guests have had a very, very strict diet, and absolutely loved it. I mean, as far as the foods that were served her. So again, if you do have that, just let us know. We're also known for our chef's table. And with Jen's groups, you will have one night on our chef's table, and that is alternative dining. It's 5 courses, wine paired. As you can see, the chef cooks your meal in front of you. It's small, it's intimate. So you will have, you know, my smaller ships in France have 22 to 24 guests. My twin balconies, they will have 24 to 28. And my AMAWaterways, which is only on the Danube, my largest ship has 36 guests in the chef's table. But normally, as a guest, all you have to do is go up to the front desk and say, I'd like to have dinner there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But as part of Jen's group, we do reserve it for you for one night as a group. And just kind of an FYI, all of our ships in Europe have been given the Green Award. And the Ama Christina was the first river cruise ship to be given that. You know, when Rudy has designed her ships, even from the very first ship that he designed for us, the Amadagio, he's been concerned about the carbon footprint that we're leaving. And the engines are actually so fuel efficient that we probably spend more money on our bandwidth to keep you connected while you're on board to the outside world than we do on our fuel. So just kind of an FYI on that. We're very proud of it. So you'll be sailing on one of our twin balconies, and our twin balconies are 443 feet long and 37 feet wide. Okay? They hold anywhere from 154 passengers or 164 passengers, right? And they have, in the back here at the aft part of the ship is where the chef's table is. So you have a beautiful view of wherever we are that evening, okay? This is what they look like. The biggest difference between our fleet is the colors of the cabins, you know. You have your French balcony, so open your French door, enjoy the fresh air, or you can be sitting on your veranda, having a cup of coffee, a Rudolph coffee, or a glass of wine, etc. We have lots of storage and lots of USB ports. So USB ports next to the nightstand, behind that Apple TV. And that Apple TV is your TV. It's your for music is your first run Hollywood movies, on demand, complimentary, as well as your internet with a keyboard and a mouse. But all of our ships are Wi-Fi'd. You could sit anywhere 24/7 and it's complimentary. Okay. They all have mini fridges, which are stocked with water, which is also complimentary. You start off with 3 bottles each. You could have 12 if you'd like, it doesn't matter. Okay. And you see that drawer on the right? I don't know if you'll see my little pointer over here. I call that my magic drawer, because inside that drawer you have a corkscrew, bottle opener, and 2 wine glasses. Because, you know, you're in Europe. You're finished with your tour, you're shopping. You find a beer that you can't buy in the States. There's a bottle of wine that you'd like to try. Bring it on board. We don't confiscate it. And we give you the tools to open it so you can enjoy it. So again, it's your holiday. We want you to have a good time. We have connecting cabins on 7 of our newest ships, right? And we also have triples and quads. So our 235 square foot cabins can be a single, that's a single hide-a-bed that you see there. And our suites that are 350 square feet can also be a quad. But let's travel on the Danube, okay? And enjoy the Ionic Christmas markets. And we are going to have 2 nights in Budapest and this is kind of what you can do as a pre and a post, all right? 2 nights in Budapest, 3 nights in Prague. Now, in my mind, you never spend enough time in Budapest, or Prague for that matter, but Budapest is such a beautiful city, absolutely gorgeous. So these are the cities and that we are going to visit along the Danube, getting into Nuremberg to go to Prague if you choose the post. Okay. So our ships are decorated to get you into the festive mood. And of course, December 9th is a beautiful time to be there. And as I said, they are decorated. We are really, as as in the past, when people have walked through the ship to get to their ship, because we do dock next to one another, at least we did, they were always envious of our decorations. And rightfully so. Christmas market, you know, the nutcrackers. So let's start in Budapest. And one of the things that you really want to enjoy is the tasting. You want to taste the little bit of taste of the foods in a Christmas market, besides looking at all the beautiful items that are in the booths, and also the glue wine, right? And glue wine comes in red and white. It comes alcoholic and non-alcoholic. So again, you know, but Budapest, as I said, we don't spend enough time there. It's a beautiful city. It has markets in like 4 different areas, much like Vienna does. And Budapest's market, just kind of an FYI, stays open until January 1st. So it closes January 1st, the end of the day. And yes, they do decorate their buses. They really do. The buildings are all lit up. The buses are lit. So it really gets you into the festive mood. And if you do a pre-Budapest, one of the things that is an AMAWaterways exclusive is, you know, you fly into Budapest, you will be met at the airport, taken to your hotel, which is where you will meet your cruise manager. And your cruise manager is with you for the will take you to the ship. So they'll be with you there, as well as if you do the post in Prague. So you're only working with one cruise manager. You're not meeting 3 different people, all right? And then we're head towards Vienna. And, you know, in Vienna, we give you, again, choices. Where we dock in Vienna, you could do even because it has been done in the Christmas market time, you can do a bike tour into Vienna if you so desire. We don't dock right in the heart of it, so we take a bus into the actual heart of Vienna, and that your tour guide will tell you where you're dropped off on the bus. It circles, so every 45 minutes to an hour, if you don't want to stay in Vienna, say for lunch, and you want to come back to the ship, where to pick it up. But I highly recommend that you stay in Vienna, because once you get your city tour and we leave you with the opportunity to do the Christmas markets, there's Christmas markets all over Vienna. My goodness. And you can come back in the late afternoon, have dinner, and then really go back out again if you don't want to do the concert, the Strauss-Mozart concert in the evening. So, or you could stay there all day, for that matter, and have lunch and dinner in Vienna and go explore. So one of the Christmas markets is called the Rathaus Christmas Market in Vienna. And of course, we have the Schönbrunn Palace Christmas Market. And you get to visit the Schönbrunn Palace, which is quite unique. It's quite beautiful. And that was actually the summer palace for Maria Theresa. And of course, you've got the Christmas market in the Maria Theresa area as well. And they're all different. And again, you want to do some tastings, you know, and I have to tell you that if you're over in the Schönbrunn, I'll go back here a minute, they have a restaurant, right? And if you want to taste excellent apple strudel, go there. I'll make you hungry. Then we head to Milk. And in Milk, you have, again, some choices. You can do a wine tasting, a bike tour, or you could visit Milk, the abbey. It's a working abbey. It's a Benedictine abbey. It is absolutely amazing. Every time I visit this, I find something different. And the library is gorgeous. It has over 1 million books, some of them original, right? But I talk about the food, well, and the glue wine and the sausages. You will have Black Forest cake on our ship, and you will also have Stollen on our ships. So again, you'll experience that. And the foods. We then head to Passau. And in Passau, we will have some choices. Again, I always talk about choices. you will have either a walking tour, a bike tour, or a hiking tour. And I have done the hiking tour in December when I've been there. So again, we don't, obviously if the weather is inclement, we don't do it. But if the weather is nice, we do. And I have to tell you that the view is spectacular, but you have to see St. Stephen's Cathedral because it houses Europe's largest pipe organs, and it plays every day at noon. So if we're there at noon, you'll get to hear it. It's absolutely amazing. And the church, the cathedral, of course, is beautiful as well. But of course, and you will experience the Christmas markets. And then we head to Salzburg. The beautiful city of Salzburg. And in Salzburg, we have the Salzburg Christmas market, of course. You'll get a city tour, enjoy the Christmas market, and we also have tickets for the Hellbrunn Palace Christmas market, and that's a smaller market. I happen to love this market, even though the Salzburg market is quite lovely, because it's in 3 different sections around this palace is actually inhabited by, I guess, a duke, and it's actually a palace that's lived in, and they open it up at Christmas time, and you need tickets to get in, and I think it's lovely because it's less crowded, number one. And then we head to Regensburg. And Regensburg, of course, is known for the Regensburg sausages, as well as picking up a Regensburg hat, which is, and I'll show you what a Regensburg hat looks like in just a few minutes. But where we dock, we walk right past the sausage house. But of course, the sausage house does have a booth in the Christmas market. So you have to taste them. They're wonderful. And again, Regensburg. And unfortunately, last year the Christmas markets didn't happen. So we're very much looking forward to this year. And we end up in Nuremberg. And Nuremberg is actually the largest and one of the oldest Christmas markets in Europe. So it is, it opens right after our Thanksgiving, usually. So again, it will be open while you're there. So I'm going to give you a little bit of insider tips. You heard me talk about the glue wine mugs. Well, you purchase the glue wine in mugs, and they have the Christmas market symbols on them, as well as the name. And if you turn them in, you get €1 back. But it's well worth saving them and keeping them and bringing them home, because during when you're home during Christmas time, bring them out. It brings back lots of memories. All right, and for those of you who are not part of the winter portion of this country, you do have to have boots and scarves and dress in layers. But I also recommend that you pack your suitcase in bubble wrap. What I normally do is I line my suitcase, put my clothes in, put the bubble wrap over my clothes, and throw in some either duct tape or masking tape or whatever, so that when I purchase my souvenirs or my glue wine mugs, I wrap them and they keep in my suitcase, so I don't have to worry about carrying them myself, right, on the airplane back home. And then, of course, if you choose to do the post on this particular journey, it's Prague. And Prague is the Paris of the East. It's a beautiful walking city. And they do have a gorgeous, gorgeous Christmas markets. But what they do in Prague is, as you're walking, and you have your tours, of course, as you're walking up by yourself, you see posters. And the posters will say, oh, a concert in this church, a concert in this particular area. Go. They happen like at 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30, and they last maybe an hour and a half at the most, and they're very inexpensive. So you're listening to a beautiful concert for maybe anywhere from 10 to say 13 euros. It's beautiful. And then go for dinner, because with our pre and our post, breakfast is always included. Tours are included, but lunch and dinner is on your own. As I said, it's a beautiful walking city, no matter what time of the year you're there. And you want to know what a Regensburg hat looks like? Those young men have a Regensburg hat on, right? And we do decorate a tree on every single journey during Christmas markets. We decorate a tree. You'll have that opportunity. Santa Claus does come, and we do sing Christmas carols. So we have a lot of fun on our Christmas market cruises. And I do highly recommend that you do carry some of the local cash with you, because you're going to want to buy some things, and some of the vendors may not want to take a credit card. So it's always good to have some local currency on you.
Is local currency different from euros?
I'm sorry?
Is local currency different from euro?
No, all the cities, I mean, Prague, the Czech Republic does have a different currency, as does Hungary, but they all take the euro. Doesn't matter. They all take the euro.
Hey, Mike, just to answer your question on that as well, a little bit more. A perfect example, when we were in Prague, the best exchange or the best deal was always paying in the local currency. If you paid in US dollars or in euros, they always hiked the price up.
Really?
So it was more expensive, and they knew the tourists had the euros, so they charged you more. But if you paid in local currency, you got a better deal. So,
Where would you exchange?
Well,
you
you
can
can.
get that on the boat, can't you?
Well, you get a few of them on the boat,
Yeah.
on the ship, but you're doing a pre and a post. So you're not on the ship in Prague or in Budapest if you're doing a pre and a post. So you could do that at any ATM in Prague or in Budapest. You can exchange, or if you have an American Express currency office in where you live, or sometimes your bank, you can order them. But again, I wouldn't order a whole lot. I mean, you don't need, $500 of the currency of in Hungary and in the Czech Republic. So, but otherwise, most of the currency is in euros, but most places will also take a credit card. This past summer, we did sail, but we sailed for the Austrian, Swiss, and German market. What happened was a tour operator by the name of Ehoy in Germany contacted Rudy and Christine, their friends, and said, I know you guys, as far as US citizens, cannot come to Europe, but I have Austrians, Germans, and Swiss that would love to explore river cruising. So they chartered our Ama Christina on the Rhine from July 2nd through November 2nd. And we had to meet all the protocols of the Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Austria, Germany, France, because they sailed on the Rhine. And we met them all. We had not one COVID case at all. Yes, face coverings were worn by the crew at all times. The guests wore face coverings in the public areas, the hallways, the lobby area, and as they went down to their to meals, but not in our lounge area because we had secured it with plexiglass. Temperature checks were taken by our crew all the time, and then the guests when they boarded the ship and when they went down to breakfast. But one of the things that really, I think, secured this safety was the clean air. When Rudy has designed all of our ships, even from the very first one, the Amadagio, every single stateroom has individual systems. The hallways have individual systems, the lobby, the lounge, the dining areas. So you're breathing clean air. You're not breathing anybody else's air. We do offer for any journey in 21 and 22, our Travel Waiver Plus, and that is through AMAWaterways. It's not through an insurance company, but it's canceled for any reason up to 24 hours prior to departure. It is an additional charge. If you purchase, if Jennifer purchases our travel insurance through Travel Guard, it's $80 per person. And if it's another third-party insurance that you may have or Jen may have, it's $175 per person. But again, 24 hours prior to departure, you can cancel for any reason whatsoever, and you're covered. Okay. As Jen mentioned in the beginning of this, this journey, she has 2 other beautiful itineraries to choose from. And they're this year. If you want to get out and explore, yes, I do. The Impressions of the Seine is from Paris to Le Havre. It's a one-way, and you do have the opportunity to do St. Milo and Mount Saint Michel on this one. So, and it's also the last night is in Paris. So again, that is November 4th. And then of course the Enchanted Rhine. And with the Enchanted Rhine, you have a pre or a post in Lucerne, Zurich, or even in Lake Como, all right? And of course, Amsterdam. And that journey is November 11th. So they're both in November, both beautiful times of the year to be in Europe. You know, yes, it's you know, layers. It's not going to be summertime, but it's going to be, you don't have the crowds, which is why I love November in Europe. I do. So I want to thank you, but I'm open for questions if anybody has any questions on anything. No questions?
I remember reading about the heated pool. The heated pool will not be open, am I correct?
Oh, it will be open, definitely.
Will it?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, yes. It's you. You're gonna be surprised how many people are in the heated pool.
Yvonne, don't forget your bathing suit.
Absolutely.
No, bring your bathing suit, because last time when we went in November, the pool was open.
Plus, also in Budapest, if we go early, they've got all those amazing spas.
Yes.
That you definitely want a bathing suit for. Well, maybe you don't. I think you can rent a bathing suit there. But, if you're not wearing one at all, you can go with a different, on a different day than the rest of us.
Great.
Yes. And as you all know, Budapest has wonderful, wonderful food, not only at the Christmas market, but in the restaurants. And the one thing I did, you know, when my husband and I were in Prague, which we did the first time we were in Prague, we didn't realize that, you know, in Prague, when you order dinner, and we both ordered our own dinner, there's enough food for probably 3 people when what they serve you. So sometimes you could order one meal for 2, depending upon how hungry you are.
That's great.
So, like I said, Ron and Yvonne and Bonnie and Mike are already set. Andrew, if you have questions, you can reach out to me afterward, or you can reach out to Greg on the Facebook page. And we'll also post this video there so people who couldn't come can watch it. And I'll send it to you, Bonnie, if you want to send it to Tim or whomever.
Right.
If you'd like it, I'll send it to you as well. And does anybody else have any questions, comments?
I don't.
No.
No?
Sounds like a great trip.
We've all cruised before, so we know what to expect.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you all for jumping on. Andrew, thanks for jumping
Obrigado.
on. Ron, Yvonne, appreciate everybody taking time tonight to learn a little bit more. And yeah, we're excited about all these things. And as I said in the beginning, Jen and I were just very happy that we could figure out a way to have fun, do this, and then also reach out and help the class. I was talking to our class president about this, and she was telling me that she thought it was a great idea. So,
Greg, how does it help the class? How do you pay back the class?
so
Do you charge us more?
no, nope, no one is getting charged more, actually. And you could talk to Mary Margaret or Jen here. The deals that Jen has worked out with AMAWaterways, they've worked out some very good deals. So if anything, we are getting outstanding rates on this. And no, Jen and I are basically Olin Vacations is coughing up the money going to the class. And we're doing this out of basically just anything that AMAWaterways gives to the travel agency is going to the class.
Wonderful.
So that's how it's working.
And we're taking the horrible path of having to go on
Yeah.
some of these cruises.
What a shame.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
sucking it up for the team going along on, well, we're already booked on 2 of them. It'd be a little difficult to do the back-to-back in this November, but
If we were retired,
if
we
we could
would.
figure out how to do it, we might be on both in November, but we haven't figured that one out yet. But yeah, so that's how we're sucking it up for the team. We're booked on 2 of them, so. But no,
Very
you are
good.
not paying more.
Well, you are, but nobody else is.
Uh-huh. Okay,
All
Great.
right. Well, thank
Wonderful.
you.
thank you. Thank you so much.
You're
Good
so
night,
welcome.
everyone.
Good night.
Happy hour with you. Yeah.
Cheers to the cruise.
Yeah.
Oh,